Hey everybody, this is Verna from Stampin' Notes, and I am on today to redo a card for you from Monday night. It's a pop-up block card because I lost my internet Monday night for some reason, and then I had to hop back on, and it was like in the middle of making a card. So I wanted to show you how to make these all the way through, straight through, so you could see it. This is one that's done with a Santa Express Designer Series paper. And if you turn it over, this is what the back of it looks like. So the sentiments are on the back of these cards. And I've had a candy cane from the Sweetest Christmas. This one is using the beautiful framed fitting florets Designer Series paper. It might be framed florets. I don't know. I get the names picked up. And that's what it looks like. I don't have anything on the back yet, but this is really cool because it will fit in our regular envelopes, the A2 envelopes. So anyways, let's start and I'll show you how to make one all the way through. And then I have another really neat one for you called a vertical pop-up block card. And that looks really cool. And this is that one. I've used the Christmas Scottie bundle, and it actually stands up. So that's really cool. So you're looking at it vertically instead of horizontally. And this is the back of it, and I've used a die cut from the scallop contour dies to help make that stand. And I'll show you also how to make this one. So we'll start with just the first basic card. And I have a piece of Night of Navy cardstock here. And I've scored this at 1 1/4 and 2 1/2. And so I'm going to fold that over and just give it a good burnish with my bone folder. Also, if you if you place an order with me of $35 or more before tax and shipping before Sunday at midnight, and use this host code right here, GVDQHVBH at checkout, I will send you the kit to make 3 of each of these that we're making today. You will need the Christmas Scottie bundle for the other card, but I will send you all the ingredients you need to make that, including the beautiful glitter paper and the ingredients to make 3 of these. So, all right, now that I've said that, so it looks like this when you're looking at it from the other way. So now I have also 4 different pieces of cardstock that have been cut and scored. Let me grab all of these for you. And we're going to start making our blocks, putting our card together. So we're going to start with the largest piece, and I've already scored and cut this just to save time. And this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. I've scored it at 1, 2 1/4, and 3 1/4. And you do want to burnish these really well to get them to set good. I'm just going to burnish them again. And with these cards, there's a small panel here, and that's always going to go on the right when we're building our card. So we're going to put adhesive, and I'm using Tombow glue on this larger panel right here. It's going to go like that. And then also we're going to put it on this smaller panel. So our 2 end panels, one is skinnier than the other. All right, so there's a second score mark here, and I'm just going to fold this back. Okay, so our skinny panel's on the back, This is on the front, and we're going to bump that right up next to that score line. And you want to make sure you're even. I'll pull that down just a little bit on the top and the bottom. So this is centered. And we're going to wait a minute so that adheres. Okay, so we're going to take our next largest piece, and this is scored at, this is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and it's scored at 3/4, 2, and 2 3/4. And I do have a blog post, and I do have a free PDF project sheet for you. And I'll have to do a little editing on that. I have most of it done. And so that will be available for you to get the measurements later today. And I'll put a link in the comments below this post so you can go to my blog and grab that. All right, so we're putting this skinny panel on the back. We're gonna butt this up against that and press down till that adheres good. Our next piece is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. It's scored at 1/2 and 1 and 1/2, 1 3/4, and 2 1/4. Okay. And I'm just going to burnish these. Boy, it's really windy here today. And again, now our end pieces are both about the same, but the one that goes on the left, this one is by itself, where over here we have like 2 small panels together. And that's the right side of our card. Okay, so this second score line, I'm going to turn that right around like that. I'm going to butt this up against the middle of there and press that down and hold it. If you make these, share it in our Inking Joy Stampers. That's a public group for anyone. I'd love to see what you make. Okay, so this one is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. It's scored at 1 1/4, 1 1/2, and 1 3/4. 1 1/4, 1 1/2, and 1 3/4. Okay, and so on this one, the right panel is larger than the left end panel. And my inspiration for this is from Frances Martin. She's a wonderful demonstrator, and I saw a video that she did of making these. Okay, and all right, so we've got our basic building blocks. Okay, and so it looks like this. I don't know if you guys can see that good or not. Oh, I need to put my ring light on my phone. Let's see if this helps. Lighten things up a little bit. That might help a little. Okay, so now we're going to add our designer series strips. And we have a piece of designer series paper, and you should cut it at 4 1/8, 4 1/8 by 5 5/8. And then you're going to cut that into 5 strips at 1 1/8. So you're going to have 5 1 1/8 inch wide strips. All right, so I've got my strips right here. I'm going to go ahead. The first strip, you're going to leave the same length. You're not going to cut it down. And you want to leave them in, if there's a pattern on the paper, you want to leave them in order. Like this has a pattern because it has a picture. So you want to leave them and make sure you know what order you cut them in. Okay, the second piece, we're going to cut this piece at 1/4 inch from each end of the strip. So here's my strip. If there's a pattern, you need to cut each end off. All right, so there's that end, and then, oops, this end. All right, I'm going to bring my card back in. Let's see where we left off here. Okay, so this is going to go this way. You can see it matches up with the previous panel. And we're going to center it on that panel. Just like that. The third strip, we're going to cut a 1/2 inch off of each end. So there's a 1/2 inch here and a 1/2 inch here. Right, and let's see, this is going to go on here like this. It's matching up that pretty flower there. And we're going to center it right on that panel like that. All right, our fourth strip, we're going to cut 3/4 inch from each end. You see how it keeps increasing by 1/4 inch with this size. And let's see, we're going to go this way. And we're going to center it right on our little panel there. And then our last one, we're going to cut, let's see, 1 inch off each end here. And 1 inch that way, and 1 inch this way. For some reason, I keep having birds hitting the window today. I'm not sure what the deal is. Okay, and this is going to go just like this. So isn't that pretty? That makes such a pretty design, and then it will fold up like that. So let's add a little sentiment onto this. And I have used the double oval punch to punch out the small oval and then the larger decorative oval. And this is from the framed floret stamp set. I'm going to put stamp celebrate. Sorry about the glare on there. Hey, Deb. Nice to see you on there. Okay, and I'm going to ink it up with Night of Navy. Just like that, and I'm going to put celebrate. I think I want it up a little farther. So let's turn it over and do that again. There. Okay. And I'm going to glue that right onto my little oval base here. Right. And I want to put it on here. I also have some little die cuts What did I do with them? So these are the framed florets dies, and they have all those beautiful ovals in them, but I die cut a couple of these little branches here. Oh my goodness, it went in your house? Maybe I wondered if it had something to do with the wind, but well, that must have been interesting. All right, I had them out. I die cut them. Let me look and see if I left them on my cupboard here. I might have stuck them in the box with the other card stuff. No. Well, that's so annoying. Oh, here they are. I found them. Okay, so I die cut out a balmy blue one, and I'm going to put that in the background, and also a white one. Just like that. I think this is the second time today I've had a bird hit the window. So I don't know. It's a mystery. And I want this white one on here over that, kind of like that. I'll just hold that a minute. And remember, this will fold right down. So you can put it in on one of our medium envelopes. And then I want to cover the stems. I don't want it hanging out here because I want it to fit in the envelope. So I'm just going to put glue on this end of the little sentiment like that. We'll hold that down there a minute. Then I have some of the elegant faceted gems, and I'm going to take some of these smaller ones here. I used up all my really small white ones. I'm going to take my little take your pick tool. I'm going to put them right on here where the berries would be. And you could color them. I colored some of these for red for a Christmas card. And they color pretty good. And just take a Stampin' Blends marker to color them. So isn't that pretty? And let's add a bow to that. And this is that white organdy shimmer ribbon. I love it. It's so pretty. We'll pull it down tight to make a small bow. This needs to be a little smaller. Okay, and we'll trim our tails off here. Just like that. And we'll grab a glue dot. And put that right there. Oh, that is so pretty. I like that. So that's Celebrate. And then I have a 5 1/4 by 4-inch piece of basic white cardstock. And I'm gonna use Wishes for a Beautiful Birthday. I dropped one of the little floral things. And we need that Night of Navy ink. All right, I'm gonna have to stand up so I can see if I'm centering this. Okay, that looks about centered. Wishes for a beautiful birthday. Now, I'm not gonna, I would probably stamp it with another floral image and colored in. I'm not gonna do that right now because I want to move on to the next card. But this gives you an idea of where the sentiment goes on the card. And there is a free project sheet with the measurements. And I have to finish doing that this afternoon, and I will put a link in the comments so you can go to that. So there's that card. Isn't that pretty? And then your sentiments on the back. All right, I want to show you this next one that is a vertical. It goes this way, and it's a stack of presents, and it has the little Scotty dogs on it. And again, if you place an order with me of $35 or more in my online store before Sunday the 30th at midnight, I will send you the kits to make 3 each of these cards. You will need the Scotty bundle, which is this stamp set here and the punch. All right. Okay, so let's do this one. So we're starting with our card base. And this is 4 1/4 by 8. I just want to make sure 4 1/4. Okay, we're going to score this at 1 1/4. And then 2 1/2. Okay. We're going to Z fold that. Fold in, and then this little flap will be out like this. All right, and we'll start building our card base again. We'll bring in those 4 panels. So our first panel is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, scored at 1 and 2 1/4 and 3 1/4. And I'm going to burnish these down again. And then we're going to put adhesive on this first wide panel. And our skinny panel on the end. The second score mark, we're going to fold that over. So our skinny panel's on the back. And lay this down here and center it. And put that over it like that. Okay, our second small building panel is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And it's scored at 3/4, 2 inches, and 2 3/4. And again, this will be in the free project sheet. We're putting adhesive on our end panels here. We're going to fold this over to the back, a smaller panel. We're going to center this here and press down. Our next block is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. It's scored at 1/2 inch, 1 3/4, and 2 1/4. Okay. And we're putting adhesive, I'm putting adhesive on our end flap here. And on this one. I'm folding it over on the second score line, centering this here and pressing down. And then our last block is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. It's scored at 1/4 inch, 1 1/2, and 1 3/4. Okay. And we're gonna put adhesive on our end piece here. And on this is the first one where the last panel here is larger for the first time than the one on the left. Second score line, we're folding that over. I'm going to push this up. Center this right here. And press that down. All right, so we've got our little tower of presents. These are going to be presents. We've got our little tower made. And the same thing, you're going to have a piece of designer series paper. Well, this one you're going to cut separate strips to make them fit those panels. So the first strip, because we're using different colors, a variety of different colors of designer series paper, we're not going to cut the large piece that's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So this strip is 1 1/8 by 4 1/8. That's going to go on the bottom. And this will be in the directions too. All right. The next piece is going to be 1 1/8 by 3 5/8. And I'm using the Sweetest Christmas Designer Series paper. For the other one, I use the Designer Series paper from the Santa Express. I'm looking a little crooked here. Wait a minute. I'll pull this up a little bit. Hold on. Okay. The third piece is going to be 1 1/8 by 3 1/8. We're going to slide that right in there. Oh, come on. And then the fourth piece, maybe we'll do the little candy canes. The fourth piece will be 1 1/8 by 2 5/8. And then the last one is going to be 1 1/8 by 2 1/8. Now we're building our stack of presents here. And we've got that little mischievous Scotty dog. Only we're going to have like 3 of them in this one. So there's our stack. I got to grab a wipe to wipe my sticky fingers. Okay, so let's add our Scotty dogs before we add our bows on our presents. All right. So this is how this is gonna work. And now we'll put let's do the back first. All right, so I have a large die cut. I've die cut this with a scalloped contour dies. And you need a piece that's 5¼ by 4. That's a really tight fit, or 5½ by 4¼ to die cut this out. And I'm going to score this. So I'm going to lay these little scallops right on the 3½ inch mark, right along there. And I'm going to score that like that. I'm going to fold that up, burnish that. Okay, and I have a piece of basic white that is 3¼ by 3, and that's going to fit right in here for my sentiment on the back. Hey, Nancy. Thank you. Yeah, this is fun. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this with my sentiment before I get that glued on, and the back part is going to say, what does it say? May your days be furry and bright. So this is from the Christmas Scotties stamp set. All right. And I'm going to stamp that in real red. I guess I gotta grab that. Here we go. So here's my real red. May your days be free and bright, and I hope that's centered. It doesn't look too bad. This would be a cute card for a dog owner. Now, one of my sons has a Havapoo, and he actually looks like a Scottie, except he's white. And I was thinking, oh, it'd be fun to do them one of these cards for Christmas and make the little doggy white with little touches of brown. All right, so that's the back, okay? Now I'm going to bring my base back in, and I'm going to put that score mark just above this bottom ledge here. So about like that, because that's what's going to hold our card, make it stand up. And this will fold up so you can mail it. You're going to need extra postage on it probably. Okay, and you can push everything down. Everything will fold down. And that looks centered. I'm just going to hang on to that for a minute. All right, so let's see, now this will make it so, let me push that out. So that will stand. Okay, isn't that cool? All right, so let's let's put our Scotties on the front here before we put our bows on our presents. So we're going to take our punch and punch out a black Scottie dog. I forgot to bring my black cardstock over. So I'm just grabbing that. It's really windy and rainy here in Western New York today. Oh, thanks, Dad. Oh, those little pets that we have in our homes, they add so much, and they're just so much a part of our families. All right, so I'm going to put him on the front like that. Before I do, I'm going to grab a little gem for his eye. Now I had a little, festive pearls are what I want because they're kind of tiny. And I want one of these gold ones right here. There's his little eye. And we need a bow tie. So this little punch has a bow punch in it. And let's punch out, let's do green. We've got a scrap of our green glimmer paper. And you guys know that stuff from the the June to December mini catalog goes on sale tomorrow. It's a clearance. And I will post a link to that. And this paper is in there. I haven't looked to see if it will be marked down. I'm not sure on that. But I love this. It has an evening evergreen and a vanilla. And they're just a gold. They're just beautiful. Okay, so we've got our Scotty dogs little bow on. And I'm kind of keeping the glue down low because I don't want it to, well, I guess it won't matter. I was afraid he'd be up higher here, but he's fine. Okay. Now, I'm going to add a little strip, tiny strip of that vanilla glimmer paper there. And we got to cut off the end here. Let's see, about like that. We're going to make our bow for our present. Right there. And I've already punched out a vanilla bow. And this is from the Scotty Dog bundle and Christmas Scotty. And that will be, that is not carrying over. So if this is something you really love, you'll want to grab that. Okay. And we're going to do, on our second present up, let's put a red bow. So I've got a piece of this. Cut it about there. Oh, you're in Washington. Oh, wow. Your snow melted already. Now, do you get a lot of snow out there? I have no idea what the climate is like out there. Okay, so that's like that. And we're going to add another bow. And you could use, you could use twine or thin ribbon for your bows. You don't have to use the Scotty Dog punch. And now we're going to, I've already stamped this dog. You can't really use the punch with him. He's right here on this, and I've fussy cut him out, and he's going to go right here. And so I'm going to, nope, I've got him up here on this one. I'm going to go ahead and put him on there. I'm keeping the glue down low, like that. We're going to put our sentiment right here, but we'll wait a minute on that. And let's do a green bow on this gift up here. Let's see if this, need to move it over a little bit because that bow's right there. Okay. Whoops. We don't want any crooked bows. Come on, Verna, get that straight. And you could use glue dots if you didn't want to wait for the glue to dry. I like the glue because if I can use it because once it dries, it sticks really well. It's hard. It takes a little longer for it to adhere to that paper because it's kind of raised up. All right, I probably should have put that over a little more, but it's still okay. I think I'm going to pull his arm out over it like that. Not a lot. Well, that's interesting, Nancy. It sounds, I would love to visit out there and see it maybe someday. That would be cool. All right, so let's do a here in Western New York, we will get like sub-zero temperatures occasionally. It's been actually a pretty warm fall. And usually a fair amount of snow. Come on. All right. And then I have another Scotty dog, and he's going to sit up here at the top. Now, let me pull this out. I am going to cut a little bit off the bottom of him because I don't want him sticking up above the top of this edge for mailing. So that would be about right. We'll just trim that a little bit and it won't show. And he's going to go right here. And let's put, I think I'll do another green here. About like that. I gotta make that, no, that's about right. Okay. I better move that over. So if you do what I just did and you get glue on your paper, this glue will stay really sticky. When that dries, what you can do is take your embossing buddy and just kind of tap it on there and it will, that powder will make it so it's not so sticky. All right, and we'll put our bow right there. All right, now we need a sentiment down here, and I think I'm just gonna, well, let's see if the double oval punch, the oval will be too big. I don't think it will be. Let's try that. I'm grabbing a piece of white cardstock. All right, so if we put this on there like that, that'll work. I'm wondering, with the white against the vanilla, I'm wondering if I should use like crumb cake instead. Let me try the crumb cake. Oh, you're close to the Canadian border. Yeah, New York in the fall is generally beautiful. This year it was beautiful. Last year we'd had a lot of rain in the summer and it was really, the colors were really disappointing. It was really kind of dull, but it is beautiful in the fall usually. Okay, let's try this. No, I don't really like that. I know, pool party, because pool party's in that designer series paper. We'll grab a pool party. And I'll grab a Coastal Cabana ink, I think. All right, let's try this. Punch. All right. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so I don't think I want Coastal Cabana. I think I want black because there's already black in the card. And let's do celebrate. See if I can get it centered. Not bad. And I'm just gonna glue it on there flat because of it folding up and everything. I don't want it to be there. That's cute. All right, so we've got the other thing I want to do is I'm going to add a few snowflakes up here. And these will be on sale also. These are the adhesive back stars, not snowflakes. And let's add one here. And there, maybe another one up there, like that. Move this out of the way. Okay, so that sits like that. And there is our final card. It says celebrate and then may your days be furry and bright on the back. And actually, we could have put like woof woof would have been cute there. So I hope you girls enjoyed this, and I'll add the link for the free project tutorial in the comments. It'll take me a little bit to get it on in there. So it's nice having you girls on today, and I will be back Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care, and I hope you have a great week. Bye. Whoops.